Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Andrea from Rogers here with another spiritual wellness check-in. I am like your spiritual counselor, your spiritual caregiver, baby, because I care about you. And I say that even if I know you personally or not, I care about you getting healed. Why? Because the Father cares about you getting healed. He wants to see you whole and set free. That was always the promise that God gave us even before Jesus came on the scene. He says it in Isaiah 53 that by what Jesus went through, by his sacrifice, you are meant to be healed and whole. But so many of you are living in a bondage spiritually. You're living in constraints emotionally, physically. You may even feel weighed down because of these areas of your heart and your mind that you have chosen to ignore. And so when you come upon my videos or my podcast, the Agents of Revival podcast, God is saying for you today, I need to check in with you. I need you to consider your heart. There's areas of your heart, there's areas of your mind, there's areas of your life that you have been neglecting. And God is saying, I need you to check in today because I want to do something in your life. I want to get you to the point of breakthrough that is always promised to you by the Father. But so many people are living in bondage. Why? Because they don't know any other way. Some of you have grown up in family units where, God, or excuse me, not God, where your family has had a mentality of, we don't talk about that. No, we sweep that under the rug. We keep that quiet. Shh, hush about that. You don't go to counseling. We don't do that in this community. Bye. Okay. That is not God. That's not kingdom. Because it says in Revelation 12:11, we are overcome by the blood of the Lamb. That means we have defeated the enemy by the blood of the Lamb, which was Jesus. He already gave that over 2,000 years ago. And by the word of our testimony, your story. But as long as you keep those mentalities, they keep you in bondage. They are lies from the pit of hell. They are enemies' attempts to keep you hostage. And God is saying today, I want you to break free. I'm tired of you staying in bondage. You're so afraid to tell your story. You are so afraid to even go back into your mind of areas in which you were hurt or betrayed, and somebody dropped the ball in your life. You are so afraid to even go back to heal from that and deal with that you're doing what I always say to people: you're bleeding on people who didn't cut you. What I mean by that, I mean that you are going around people, you're establishing relationships and friendship with people. You're going into environments with people old and new who didn't hurt you. And so then they're trying to figure out, well, why you got a nasty attitude towards them? Why your face so scrunched up? Why you pouting all the time? Why you so sad? Why you lash out at them? Why you cussing people in traffic? And you don't need a person in the other car. You just cussing them out. That's because there's something in your heart that you really want to cuss out, that you really want to lash out at, that there's an area of your life that you really want to just scream at, but you can't, or you won't allow yourself to do it. You won't allow yourself to face that and have a healthy conflict so that you can get to the resolution part. And so instead, you put up offenses around your heart so people can't get in. And you call yourself guarding your heart, but that's not how you guard your heart. Or you're lashing out, you're bleeding on people who didn't cut you. And so I know I took a little roundabout moment to get to the message today, but I needed you to understand. So when you hear this message, you like, okay. And so today's message that God gave me is healing is messy. It's messy. He knows it, but ain't a darn thing you could do about it, baby. You still got to heal. Okay. I get it, baby. I have been through hell and back. Okay. I have been through so much that on these videos, and even on my podcast of Agents of Revival, I don't have time to even get into everything. That's why I'm writing a book about it. So I'm gonna keep y'all posted on that. But I've been through so much. And yet God put me through a season of wilderness where I had to, and I call it my Job wilderness season, because God confirmed in me that, like the man in the Bible of Job, that I was going through the same situation. I was going through a testing. And so In my Job wilderness season, I had no other choice but to face those areas of my heart that I kept rejecting or neglecting, that I didn't want to deal with, those skeletons in my closet that I felt were just way too painful. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to talk about that. No, God, no. Mm-mm. And God said, you know what? I'm about to sit you down because you won't stop running because I need you to heal. Now, for me, one of the reasons why he needed me to heal was so I could be here for you, boo. I could tell you that it's worth it. It's messy. Oh, yeah, baby. You got to roll your sleeves up. So I ain't got no sleeves on. You got to roll it up. You got to get in the trenches, baby, and do the work. It's muddy. It's murky. It's messy. But, oh my God, y'all. There's beauty on the other side of those ashes. It's so worth the work. That's why I'm here. I can smile today and laugh because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know. Why? Because the enemy kept me in so much bondage in my mind, saying that I can't deal with those areas, that I was too afraid to deal with them. But when God set me down and I started to do the work, and it was hard, I will not tell you it was easy. It was hard, but it was worth it. Because when I got on the other end, now, like James 1 says, oh, baby, I can count it all joy. I could count it all joy that I went through those things because they have birthed something in me. It birthed purpose. My misery at that one season birthed ministry. Hello, somebody, in this season. I was able to go through it, and God helped me go through it. And he also put me in the right situations with the right people to help me go through it. That's why you always hear me talk about you need to get a spiritual counselor or spiritual mentor. If you need me, hey, reach out to me via my message. Shoot me a message in the inbox or DM me or something. If you need a spiritual counselor, a spiritual caregiver, you need a spiritual mentor. Because I had one, and that person helped me tremendously. But you know what I also did? Because God said I needed to. I went and found myself a Christian counselor, a licensed therapist that I could go with and sit. And for me, because for my skeletons were so deep, it was so many, y'all. I'm telling y'all, the closet was bulging open because it was like, girl, if you don't let them skeletons out and just deal with your pain, it's about to burst. And so God allowed me to go through very intensive counseling sessions. I went through 2, sometimes 3 weeks, two, sometimes 3 times a week counseling sessions. Because yes, the healing was messy and it wasn't nothing I could do about it. I needed that opportunity to really cleanse myself. And so for 2.5 years, I went through that intense therapy, outpatient. But I'm so glad I did it because it's worth it. I mean, I wish the right words could come out for me to explain to you how, when you allow yourself to go through the process, go through the healing journey, let God show you the areas of your heart that you've been running away from, but he's saying, enough running. I need you to deal with that. It's so worth it on the other side. Just to give you one example, one of the things that shifted me into the wilderness season was a lot of people in my family died. Very, very close to me died, and um, it was tough. 3 people died in my family that were very crucial. 3 of my elders, back to back to back. I mean, it was within a couple months, each person died. And so the pivotal, the crux that kind of broke the camel's back for me was when my grandmother died. That's not to say when my grandfather died, her husband, that there wasn't pain there. There was. And that was also another area that I had to deal with as well when it came to healing. So there was pain there. But then when she died a few months later, it just completely crushed me. I did not see any joy. I didn't see any sunshine. All I saw was darkness. I'm talking about, y'all, it could be the brightest, most sunniest day that day, and all I saw was dark, rainy clouds. Why? Because my heart was so broken, so crushed, so crumbled. And then I was trying to, as most people do, especially here in America, you try to mask it. You try to just go about the rest of your day. You try to just fill it up with work and fill it up with activities. And so you never really heal from the pain of someone passing or someone losing. You never really deal with your grievances. Grief is not just about somebody dying. It could be a loss of something. And you never really deal with that. And so I went through the process of like trying to just ignore my pain and trying to just, bury myself in work and everything. And I'm going to tell y'all, and this may not happen for y'all. I pray it don't, but it did for me because God was like, I have a purpose for you, which is why I'm here for you guys, because God birthed this ministry. He knew he was going to give me this healing ministry, but I had to first become healed. And so what God did, he closed every door. And I was like, hey, yo, God, are you serious right now, bro? Like, come on. I needed that door open. And God was like, nope, because I need you to heal. And so you're going to keep running to there, and everywhere else. And so I got to close these doors. So you won't have nowhere to run. And so I felt like the best way I could describe it is if you could think of like a circular room and there's a bunch of doors around you. Like, you ever been in like a fun house at a carnival or something, and they have like the room of mirrors, but think of the mirrors as doors. And so it felt like that. Like I was in a circle room, and there's like all these doors running around me, and they all were open at one point. And so I was like, yeah, and I'm running through them, and I could go in and out the doors, and they all stay open. But baby, when I went into that Job Wilderness season, when I went into the messiness of healing, oh yeah, all those doors closed. And then what I found myself was in the circle of a bunch of closed doors, and it was quiet. Ooh, baby, that silence was piercing. That's what made it even harder to heal, because it was deafening. That's why so many people found, even being in COVID and being in lockdown when it first started, they found that so hard because it was the silence. You were used to filling your days up with activities and events and things and work and whatnot. And so when you could not escape your environment anymore, you could not run and fill it with other things. You couldn't numb the pain of alcohol because it wasn't doing it anymore. And all it was that silence. It was deafening. And so for me, because God had me go through that early, when COVID came, I was cool. Okay. I was good to be a recluse because, baby, I got used to it. But, it started from me having to go through the process first to heal. God knew COVID was going to come before I knew. And he knew that not only with COVID was going to be even more things in the world where people were going to need healing ministry more than ever. And so at a season in time when I didn't even know what was up ahead, God said, I need you to work on you now, because you're going to be one of the people that is going to be instrumental in helping my people heal and break free and get prepared for the wars that are going to continue to come up ahead. And I don't just mean the war in the natural. I mean the war in the spirit realm. There's a real spirit realm, y'all. There's a real devil that does not want you to get free. He doesn't want you to get healed. He doesn't want you to become whole. So he's going to fight you tooth and nail. Hello, somebody. He's going to send so much warfare. Baby, if you ever realize when you are, I'll give you an example, a different example. I was going to go one way. I'm going to go to a different way. You ever been about to board a plane, and on the ground, the winds aren't that bad. You don't even feel the turbulence. It could be a bright sunny day, not a cloud, not a wind, nothing is around. But as soon as that plane about to take off, all of a sudden it's shaking and it's turbulence. And you like, what in the... Now, when we was just on the ground, we ain't feel nothing. Right, because you wasn't going against the wind. You wasn't going against the enemy. But as soon as you get ready to start healing, as soon as you get ready to be about your Father's business, as soon as you get ready to start operating in purpose, oh, all of a sudden, hell starts breaking loose. Hello, somebody. I know not only because I went through it, but even right now as I minister to other people, and they're like, oh my God, Andrea, now all of a sudden my life is chaotic. Yes, because the enemy doesn't want you to get free. So you got linked up with me, boo, and I wasn't going to let you just stay in your bondage. So I'm going to keep coming at you and keep coming at you. Why? Because that enemy had me defeated for so long, y'all, that I was like, you know what? You're going to stop kicking me while I'm down. And the enemy was like, nope. And so I had to get my fight up. I had to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to persevere through this storm. Like God says to Eve in Genesis, that though you're going to keep nicking at my heel, I'm going to crush you with my heel, baby. Okay? Because I'm going to get my fight back in the name of Jesus. I ain't going to stay down. I'm going to get back up. I ain't gonna stay in this environment. I'm gonna get back up. And what I had to do, it wasn't about fighting with my fists. It was about fighting on my knees in prayer, getting in God's word, studying and meditating on it day and night. It was also about, like I said, getting into counseling and then linking up with a spiritual mentor, a spiritual advisor that can care for my spirit, my spirit woman, and help me to heal. And just real quick, the people that start with you, first of all, they may not be the ones that will end with you. And they also may not be the ones that will help you on your journey. Because I know a lot of people think that, oh, I need healing. I'm dealing with something messy in my life. Let me call my girlfriends. Let me call my homeboy. And you're going to find that they're not the ones that give you best advice. Heck, they may not even be around to stay with you because they might have been with you to have fun. But as you're going through some problems, they're like, oh, deuces. And I know because I've been there. And so you got to get to the point where you say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to keep going in the way I've been going. Yes, these people were great for a time. And yes, some friends will be ones that have you help you have a good old time. And that's it. But you got to link up with the right people that will help you heal, that will help you fight your battles. I talked about it before about the difference between a friend and a spiritual friend or a spiritual mentor. That's somebody that doesn't just hang out with you or listen to your problems when you call them. That's somebody who knows how to pray for you, baby. They know how to war for you in the spirit. And more importantly, they're in a healthier place than you are. Because a lot of times our friends are in the same darn boat we in. Birds of a feather flock together. They in the same boat, which is why you mesh so well, because they where you at. Rarely do people link themselves with people that are on a higher level, that are at the level that they're trying to get to. Why? Because the people at the higher level are going to challenge you. That's what a spiritual friend does. The spiritual friend is not going to just sit there and listen to your problems and say, yeah, girl, yeah, man, yo, I know, I understand. Yeah, bro, it's rough out here. And they're going to say all the things that you used to hear them saying. No, a person on a higher level is going to challenge you, baby. They going not just let you stay at that place. They're not going to just let you say whatever you want to say. For me, my spiritual caregiver, my spiritual mentor, she would not allow me to just talk anything to her. Now, she would let me in my moments to vent. Same thing with my Christian counselor. They would let me have my moments when I was in my wilderness season to vent, to go through that pain. And then by the time I finished my boo grace, because this healing is so messy. By the time I finished it was like, okay. And it'd be silence for a minute. And I'm like, well, they're like, okay, well, now what's the next step? How we pick ourselves back up? How do we set up healthy boundaries? How do we resolve that conflict? How do we now look at this a different way so that we can start to heal from that process? How do you change your prayer now? Here, how about changing your prayer from that to this? And, how about going to that person and telling them how you feel? And then how do you have, again, those healthy conflicts? How can you resolve that in a healthy way? How can you take what they said and use it constructively for your good instead of your bad? They challenged me. And it was irritating sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of y'all might watch my videos and be like, I'm so tired of this child. Well, Andrea, just get the heck out of here. Nope, I ain't going nowhere, y'all, because God called me here. And so you can't knock me off, okay? That's why I'm nagging you, because I need you to get healed. I need you to get free. I need you to get whole. There's joy on the other side of this. There's a peace that surpasses all understanding, like the Bible says. And you may be like, well, what does that mean? Because the world showed you one thing of peace, and that's not it. Baby, there's a peace that God gives you that even when the enemy tries to send an attack your way, it bounces off of you. And you stay calm as the wind, baby. You stay calm like an eagle, sailing on the wind. Even though the storms is heavy around him, the eagle still keeps his wings up, flying calmly with such ease. And you thinking, well, shouldn't the storm tear down the eagle? No, baby, because I'm right where I need to be. This is what I need to launch. This is what I need to get to strengthen my wings. So I'm able to stay at perfect peace. But you got to get there. You got to do the necessary work. It's not easy. It's messy. It stinks sometimes. It's like, ooh. Jesus, please. But baby, it's so worth the work. So it ain't nothing you can do about it. But allow yourself to go through the process. Because when you understand, if you allow yourself to go through the process, there's breakthrough on the other side of that pain. There's purpose in the suffering. You may not understand it now, but instead of praying to God about how long and God, when will you take it away? Maybe shift that prayer to God, what do I need to learn in this moment? God, what areas of my heart are you trying to prune and want me to address? What parts of my life are not reflective of you? And what areas should I be making changes? And then when God reveals that to you, do the work. Yeah, it's messy. And a darn thing you can do about it. So I pray this message stirred faith, that it gave you some things to think about, definitely gave you some things to pray on and start working on in your heart. I really do want you guys to be healed, to be whole, to be set free from your brokenness, from the grievances, from the areas of your life that has just been dragging you down. It's time for revival, y'all. It is time for revival, and God wants you to be revived into your best self. I'm telling you, your next level self, the person that you're becoming, will thank you for the work you're doing today. He or she is going to be like, yo, I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad and grateful that you went ahead and did the messy work. It was worth it in the end. So may the Lord bless you and keep you, cause his face to shine upon you. May the Lord our God be gracious to you, show you his favor, and give you his shalom, give you his peace. Take care. Bye now.